You don't need money, you need a better strategy.
What is the benefit of thinking of worst scenario?
I did 200 trainings.
Wow.
She told me, Markos, stop learning, start doing.
I'm not actually that good. I don't know what to do, like with all my knowledge.
And one of the NLP principles is there is no failure, only feedback.
You are like, okay, I'm not ready, but you will never ready if you don't start it.
I used the Ikigai, the Japanese concept. I also developed a huge network to over 100 countries.
Take your chance, just dare to do that. Work on your mindset. Don't underestimate the effects of your mindset. Welcome to another episode of Masterful.info podcast. Today we have a special guest, Markos. Could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what are we going to talk about today?
Yes, thank you for the invitation, Will. Yeah, I'm Markos Korvesis. I'm from Greece. I have two online businesses. One is helping people find a remote job and become digital nomads with their own online businesses. And the other one is organizing nomad events and making establishments digital nomad friendly. And today we will talk about how to become an entrepreneur with limited or even zero resources.
For many of entrepreneurs, that sounds like their reality, I think. Most of entrepreneurs start either with very limited resources, or even if they have collected some money, after a while it's depletes so fast, and then at some point you are on like don't have enough money and you are a little bit stuck because it's really difficult to grow. But you told me you actually experienced that yourself and you succeeded. And before we start with your story and with all the learnings you did, whom is it relevant actually from our audience, and what will they gain after listening to the whole episode?
Yeah, this episode is mostly relevant to people that they want to start their own online business and they don't know how, they have limited or zero resources, and they need to find creative ideas and support to actually start and make everything grow.
Yeah, maybe even if some of our audience have started, but maybe they are not progressing as fast as they wish to, they can also get some inspiration. And I think after this episode, they will get first an understanding on, like, we will touch on the mindset, because that's like the beginning of everything. If your mindset is like, okay, I don't have a chance, then you will not even do anything else what is required. And second, we will touch on the how to find the right niche that is related to your values and wants. And the third part will be some inspirations, how to ask for help and how to find solutions even without enough fundings. My mind was blown when you told me a few examples from that. So I think our audience will like that as well.
Definitely.
All right, let's jump into it. You can tell a short story about your struggles and how you succeeded, and then we can jump into mindset.
Yeah, so yeah, I can tell that first of all, I changed more than 30 jobs as an employee because I was searching jobs as an employee and I was feeling that something is missing all the time. And then I decided to find something and start my own business. And I started with mindset. So with a way of thinking, reading personal development books and articles, joining relevant seminars, finding mentors. And a quote that I liked was, you don't need money, you need a better strategy. So this one was like my flag, like my compass to move forward, because I was heartbroken, I was unemployed, I was bankrupt, I was owning a loan to the bank, to the electricity organization, and many other things. So it was a great year. That was 2016-17. And I started with this mindset. I was like, okay, I will make it happen. And Well, I think I didn't tell you before that I was even, have a bank loan. And I even went to the bank and I asked them, okay, guys, I have some job offers to work and pay your loan and pay the loan, but I don't want to because I want to find something that I really enjoy. I found a job that I really enjoy and I want to do everything to make it happen and start my own online thing. And they decided to actually freeze the loan for 2 years. And they told me, okay, Marcos, you have 2 years to make it happen. Otherwise, you will pay very high interest rate. Yeah.
That's actually a first lesson, or actually two lessons. First of all, you have to dare to ask. And sometimes you get some people, maybe you get mails or letters from the bank and you are like frozen. And so, oh, those problems, I cannot deal with them. I have to give up. But you just ask them. And the chances, maybe you didn't think they will agree to that, but in the end they agreed and you saved so much interest rates and so much trouble. But I wonder, you were really like on the low of your like life, on your funds. Was it caused by my wrong mindset, or what do you think about what caused those issues in the first place?
Yeah. First of all, I was doing things I didn't enjoy as jobs. So I
Mm,
was feeling very stressed, I was like shrinking somewhere. I couldn't do what I like, with a toxic environment and all these things. I was also not setting my limits, my boundaries to my ex-partner and also to my managers. So I was like the good guy, doing
yes.
all the kind of favors and leaving myself behind and my health and my goals and everything. So this is how it was. So it was, like many mistakes that I did, and I ended up owning a lot of money, being bankrupt, and all these things. And yeah, so it was because of mindset, definitely.
Yeah, how did you feel in this situation when you were bankrupt and your heart was broken? Did you feel like, it doesn't make sense, or maybe it changed how you felt from beginning where you didn't work on your mindset, but then you worked on your mindset and then suddenly you had like, okay, you know what? I will succeed at any cost.
Exactly. Instead of playing the victim and complaining and blaming everyone or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm bankrupt. I owe this money. What is the worst scenario? And I was searching the worst scenario. So I was like, okay, the worst scenario is to become a homeless in a municipality building, for example, to go to an NGO to get some food, So I was thinking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So okay, this is the worst
Wow.
scenario. So okay, I can find food from some NGOs. I can find a place to sleep, from a homeless, shelter. And I was actually staying with my mom at her house, so I had a place to
Yeah.
to stay. But yeah, and then I was like, okay, this is the worst scenario. Let's see what we can do now. So that was the starting point.
What is the benefit of thinking of worst scenario?
Okay. The benefit was that I was more calm because without
Yes.
having the knowledge that there is something that I cannot go there to sleep or that there is something that I can go there
Yes.
for food, I was feeling stress and anxiety that I will end up in the
Yes.
streets and begging for food and stuff like that. But when I knew that there are like more than 40 organizations that they provide food to homeless and poor people, or they provide like a bed to sleep or a shower or something, then I was like, okay, this is okay. I can do it. So I wasn't feeling stressed anymore.
So the second lesson is live in Europe. Don't live in some countries that don't have the social system.
Yeah, that would be more difficult. Yeah,
Amazing. Yeah. So you didn't give up. You thought about the worst thing that can happen, and you realized it's not that actually dangerous and nothing that will break you. So from this basis, you can then start growing.
exactly.
And what were your next steps?
So the next step was to find actually what is the ideal job for me, what I like to do.
Mhm.
And I joined some seminars about it, and I discovered career coaching, like helping people find a
Mhm.
job. That was in January 2017. And then I started taking online courses, reading books, doing research, finding mentors through LinkedIn from the US and Canada and other countries.
Mhm.
And so I was getting the skills and the knowledge. I did volunteering to an NGO to get some experience. I was helping my friends and friends of friends. So that was the next step. So to take action actually and start getting the knowledge and the experience and the skills to actually do this job.
That's a good point, taking action. I have some friends who have been reading those books, self-help books and mental strength and all of those for years. But if you don't take action, it's a waste of time. Just like you need to jump into the cold water to learn to swim, kind of thing.
You remind me at one of my trainers, actually in 2017, I did 200 trainings,
Wow.
like including online courses and conferences and everything. So there were 200. And then one of my trainers, beginning of 2018, she told me, Marcos, stop learning, start doing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is how I decided to start my own online business.
Yeah, I feel like I had the same problem and I've seen it over and over again. I feel like that's also kind of a confidence issue. If people and you are training, and don't feel good enough. Is there something that helped you to switch to action phase?
Hmm.
Is there like a mindset shift, or can you give some advice to our listeners who are in the same position, who are feeling like, oh, I'm not actually that good. I don't know what to
Mhm.
do. Like with all my knowledge, I need more knowledge.
Yeah, so there were some things that helped me with a mindset. For example, one of them was a quote. Somebody told me that if you do most of the things in a 80% success, it's
Yes.
enough most of the times. So I don't need to become perfect and stress myself to reach the 100%. So I was like, okay, let's go for the 80%. And if we can go even more, even better. So that was one thing. And then I was studying NLP, neuro-linguistic
Mhm.
programming, which is coaching techniques about mindset, decision making, goal setting, communication, and many other things. And one of the NLP principles is there is no failure, only feedback. So, okay, let's do some mistakes. We will fail. I will fail probably, but I will learn something and I will avoid something or I will do it better next time. So that was NLP also helped me with a mindset.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think it's like with 20% you can achieve 80% of results, but then you need 4 times more to achieve 100% or 99%. So, and no one has the time to achieve 100% in all these areas, especially as an entrepreneur. You have so many things to
Hmm.
juggle around, like, and the same is also for critique. Yeah, some people, I think, they are just scared of critique, and it's the same like starting your YouTube channel. You are like, okay, I'm not ready, but you will never ready if you don't start it. That's really valuable. So what were the next steps and learnings from your journey?
First of all, I want to say here that I use the Ikigai, the Japanese concept,
Mhm.
to help people find their Ikigai, the original version, which is actually a lifestyle, can be a job that you love, can be a hobby, a volunteering project, a location, a lifestyle, some habits. So I was discovering what are my Ikigais, what,
Mhm.
how should I do my job to love it most, what kind of services, what kind of people to serve, what kind of people to collaborate, in which way, online, offline, alone, with a team, all these things. After doing that, I realized that I want to have my own online business with an online team, not doing everything alone, and traveling the world as a digital nomad. That I also started my trips in 2018, and serving people that they wanted to find a better job in the beginning. Okay, now I mostly focused on digital nomads. But as I told you before, I was bankrupt. I didn't have any money to do all these things. So I had to be resourceful and creative. What I did is asking for support and asking for help. For example, I asked a private company for a full scholarship of an NLP certification, which was 2,500 euros. And I was the first person that they actually offered me this certification for free. Because it's a private company, right? And also other things. I asked for a free entrance to conferences, online courses. So whatever I wanted to do, I was just asking for help. And some people, they decided to help me. So I get a lot of knowledge in this way. Then I wanted to travel the world. And how I did that? I started by using Erasmus projects. Many people think that Erasmus is for students, but this is not true. Erasmus is like an umbrella of projects for all kinds of people and ages. And for example, there are two projects. One of them is called Erasmus Plus Youth Exchange. This one has an age limit up to 30, but they usually accept one team leader without age limit. And the other one is called Erasmus Plus Training, and it's usually without age limit. And there are trainings of all kinds of topics, personal development, hard skills, social matters, many things. And they are usually 1 to 2 weeks, and they are fully funded by the European Union. You can have free flights, accommodation, food, and the training, everything paid, right? There is also another project. It's called Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. This is also without age limit, and people can use it to go to a company they like around Europe for up to 6 months and do job shadowing, so to learn everything from this company, develop their skills, knowledge, experience, connections. And they can also get a funding of up to 1,100 euros, depending on the country, the cost of living of the country. So there is a, depending on the country. Spain, for example, I know it's around 850 for Spain. Okay, so people can use these kinds of projects as I used to start even with zero resources. I remember that my first trip abroad was with 90 euros in my pocket and bank account. That was my money for a 2 week trip abroad.
Wow, that sounds scary for most of people, I think, just to jump into a new country without any reserves. What do you think was the value of those trainings that you received, and how would your career and path would be different if you didn't do those free trainings?
Yeah, so first of all, I developed my knowledge and skills and my experience from all these trainings. I also developed a huge network to over 100 countries.
Wow.
Because, you know, every group was international. Like we had the trainings with people representing 16 countries, for example. So it was very international, and I developed a network in over 100 countries, not only Europe, also outside of Europe. I like Africa, you know, Asia, America, everywhere. So that was very good. I had a huge network, supportive network, to travel around the world, to do collaborations, to find clients, find business partners, and of course the knowledge and the experience and the intercultural skills, practicing my English. I remember my first trip, I didn't even know how to say fork, and I want this one to eat my food.
Wow.
Showing with my hand. Yeah. So that was also very helpful.
That's very inspiring. So people sometimes think, okay, I will just post on social media, I will comment on social media groups, and that's how I can find, I can expand the network. But it's so different to compare it if you are meeting those people, if you're spending some time with those people, when you talk in real life, then you establish some kind of rapport and connection with those people. And then maybe this person doesn't know how to help you, but he knows some companies, some potential clients. And that's how you grow. That's how you find your right cooperation partners and customers.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's really strong. So also knowledge is very important nowadays. You couldn't sell your service, or maybe you would be able to sell it once or twice, but people wouldn't come back with all this without all this knowledge. It brought you on a total different level, and without spending money. What could you tell our audience, like as an advice, if they are in a similar situation where they don't have money and they are not satisfied with their current situation and they want to change it? And where should they start? And what should they do?
As you said before about the quote, you don't need money, you need a better strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, so money they already exist out there. Someone has money. So I can tell you a few examples. Like, first of all, for my coaching business, I actually became the co-owner of an existing business. So I didn't have to pay for a logo, for a website, for tools. It was already done. So I joined an existing business as a co-owner with an agreement of service exchange. Like, I will manage a few tasks and deliver some services. They will manage some other things. And this is how I became a co-owner of an existing business without spending any money.
Wow.
And I was not even paying my accountant the first like 6-8 months. I was doing services exchange with my accountant and his team. So I didn't have to pay even the accountant, let's say. And I also know people that they asked for help. I know, like an example, somebody asked 20,000 euros to start a business, and one of his clients offered this money, and she said to him, "Yeah, you can pay me back in installments whenever you have the money." So that was very helpful. And he actually grabbed a good opportunity and he started a new business, let's say, with this money. I even know one guy, he was homeless and he started selling his business idea to some people, and some people believed in his idea and they liked him and they decided to support him. And they gave him whatever he needed. And right now he has a business in the US and he's even collaborating with NASA, the space organization of the United States.
What is the difference between this homeless guy who succeeded and all the other homeless guys who still be homeless? What do you think?
So actually, I have some friends that that I know that they were homeless, and I know also one of them is 67 years old. He's from Greece, the most popular homeless guy in Greece. He talked to BBC, to CNN, to a Chinese TV channel, and many other things like that, many media. And like, for example, this guy is afraid to take he has some support, and he's afraid, for example, to start a business and risk losing this support, let's say. They are very afraid. So most homeless, even this guy that he had these interviews, he's afraid of starting his own thing, for example.
Yeah.
So I believe that most people, they are afraid of doing something else. Of course, many people, they feel depressed, they feel, anxiety. And also some of them, they are unfortunately addicted to alcohol or drugs or something like that. And even if there are services for them, to have a bed, a shower, a food, they prefer to stay in the streets so they can get money to pay for drugs or alcohol or something like that. So it's a very interesting topic. I believe it's all about mindset. Yeah.
So you need healthier coping mechanism with all those negative self-talk, with all those pressure, and especially with the fears. Many people have those fears, but I guess it's possible to deal with that. And there are probably several solutions for that. For me, like one idea would be to go to a therapist or hypnotherapist. Of course, maybe not if you are completely broke, but even then, even if you are broke, the first step is always to research for free solutions. Are there some solutions by the government that are for free? And that could be already a first step. And maybe also just to do some research on YouTube, on internet. And if you have some money, like get some coaches, some professional help.
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine slept in the streets for 45 days because he didn't know that the city is offering, a bed and a shower and food to homeless people. Yeah. He didn't know, so he was sleeping in the streets.
So that's why you were researching about the worst case scenario before
Exactly.
that. That's actually amazing, because when you start this journey, you have the fresh mind. You don't have this pressure. You are at home at your with your parents, and then when you are spiraling maybe down because it's not working as you expected, then you might have like it will be much more difficult maybe to have a clear mind.
Mm. Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do is like starting an unhealthy coping mechanism like alcohol, because then it's so much more difficult to come out of this spiral.
Yeah, actually, I had a trainer that he told me one of the exercises, it was a personal development training, and one of the exercises was what would you do if you were homeless? And then I was like,
Wow.
okay, I could go, to a service from the municipality to sleep there, to have a shower, to have a food. I could go to a library to read some books and get some new knowledge. I could go to this organization to use a computer to search on the internet a few things. So there were options.
Yes.
I have already done this exercise before, just to be sure.
So it's an important part of the kind of success path to start also with the worst case scenario and to be prepared, and it also loses the fear of that.
Hmm.
I know it myself. Sometimes it felt like really impossible situation, and then I was thinking about, and then I was like, okay, but even if I owe some money, those people will not come and harm me. It's just
Hmm.
a paper, and there is always a solution around the corner. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the Ikigai principle.
Hmm.
Imagine an entrepreneur, like, yeah, there are maybe two situations. He either started already and is not happy how is it going, or a potential entrepreneur who has been thinking for a while about entrepreneurship, but didn't dare to start his business. And with Ikigai, how would you advise this person?
Yeah, so Ikigai for me is like a holistic way of mindset and way of thinking. For me, it's like a lifestyle. First of all, we need to do what we actually like, what kind of
Mhm.
job we like, what kind of people we like, what kind of service we like, what kind of environment, what benefits, what are our personal goals, our professional goals. So it's everything like that. It's like one step before starting everything, right? We need to think about it. I was like, okay,
Yes.
I want to become a career coach. Do I want to help high school students with their bachelor degrees find the right bachelor degree? Do I want to help university students find a master's degree or their first job? Do I want to help adults? Do I want to help homeless people, unemployed, refugees, people with disabilities? Who do I want to help? Right? And then in which way? Do I want to have a store, like to have an office, a building, working online, working alone, with a team? What kind of team?
Yeah.
What kind of service I want to deliver? To whom? Who are my favorite people that I enjoy working with them? And in which location, which area? Do I like cold? Do I like hot weather? So there are many different things that we need to explore. I know people that they rejected job offers because they were not aligned to their hobbies.
Or interests. Yeah.
Yeah, like moving, for example, I don't know, like to Berlin for a very high, salary job offer or opportunity, and their hobby was like kite surfing, and they were like, "Oh, I cannot do kite surfing in
Ah,
Berlin. I'm not coming because it's everything. It's our relationships also. Do I have a partner, a family, kids, or pets, or taking care of someone, friends? It's everything. Ikigai is everything."
yeah. I can imagine that it's you spend so much time with your work, 8 hours, maybe 12 hours a day. That's sometimes half of your day, and then if you remove sleeping, then it's much more than half of the day. And if you really enjoy it, it's less stressful, it's less energy draining, and you can probably have more success.
I would say that it's the opposite. When I work, I'm getting energy.
Wow.
because I love what I'm doing. So I enjoy my work. I love it. So when I work, I get energy. I don't, give away energy, and I feel grateful and happy. So if we are doing something that we do not love, we are wasting our time.
Wow, that's a very strong sentence, which I really like because, yes, I believe in that. I think if you are miserable the whole day and just watching the clock, then how are you supposed to create amazing results? And even if you speak with your team members, with your employees, with your especially clients or prospects, and probably on a subconscious level, they see how you feel about your job, how you feel about what you are saying, and they will see through you if you don't believe in what you're saying, if you don't like what you're saying. So it's a spiral upwards. If you really love it, you will really enjoy learning all the things about this job, and you will become better, and you will enjoy every second of that, and you will not getting tired and will not burn out.
Exactly, and not only that, like it's easier to overcome any kind of challenges,
Yeah.
right? When we really enjoy what we love, we can be creative and find a way. And we can also stand out from the crowd because we actually love what we are doing. I can give you two examples. I know a lady, she's painter. She quit a government job, which was
Mhm.
very safe. She could retire from the government job with a very safe, stable income every month. And she quit a government job to become a painter. Like painting is not really a high successful
Yeah.
job with a huge potential, for example, like IT or whatever. And she managed to do it so nice because she really loved it that now she has a team. She has a very high margin from her products, and she's even delivering products to celebrities and popular companies and organizations, even football teams. And I know another lady that she became a, how is the English word? Ceramist, I think. When you
Yeah.
make like cups. And
Yeah.
she's like self-made.
Mhm.
She actually learned everything from a experienced mentor, and now she has a huge store with a huge team. And having even Harvard University, I know that is one of her clients.
Yeah. Interesting. So there are many people out there who are afraid of moving to another job or creating an
Hmm.
own company. And oftentimes if your job is mediocre, it's like much more difficult to move away from that because you know what you get your salary,
Hmm.
and if you move away you don't know what you get. It might be a failure, especially if you see the statistics that most of businesses or many businesses
Exactly.
don't succeed. But the life is short, and it's not the goal of the life maybe to have the safest life. It's also adventure and excitement, and maybe it goes down but then it goes up, and if it doesn't work, you can always usually return to your previous job or to a similar job. So I think one main takeaway from this episode is take your chance, just dare to do that, believe in yourself, work on yourself, work on your mindset. Don't underestimate the effects of your mindset, of your confidence, and then you might have a much more exciting life.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can also give a few more examples about online businesses. So I know a lady, she was a personal assistant, and she became a graphic designer with her own online business in 3 months of trainings, but all day trainings, but in 3 months. And after 3 months, she was charging 10 times more her previous hourly rate. And a few months later, she even offered her first webinar, which was 2 hours, and she made €1,000 in 2 hours. And now she's getting way more money. She has a team. She has, I
Yeah.
think, a new business, extra one, passive income, all these things. Or there was another guy. He started his own business last year. He also managed to get 5 to 10 times more some months from his previous job.
And all by you using the Ikigai principle, by finding what they love and
Hmm.
doing it professionally. You talk with many people. You coach many different people.
Mhm.
Are there same problems over and over and again, or very common problems that those people
Hmm.
have, which keep them from success?
Yeah, first of all is the mindset. Like some people, they don't have the confidence to take action, to ask for help, even if they have the clarity, like what they want to do personally and professionally. Many people don't have the confidence, they don't take action, and they don't ask for help. So that's one thing. And I also noticed that there are many people that they afraid of taking action to become entrepreneurs because they have some responsibilities, like a family to take care of, or taking care of, yeah, their kids, maybe their parents or something else. So people that they usually have kids or taking care of their parents, they are more afraid of becoming entrepreneurs and to lose the stable income that a job as an employee is giving them. But actually, I believe that being an employee is more risky than having your own business because the employer can fire you anytime.
You only have one client, kind of, as an employee. You have one client. 100% of your revenue stream, if you talk as an entrepreneur,
Yeah,
comes from single source. And if you also like have a mortgage, then it's all your
hmm,
investment is in one big basket. So that's
exactly.
actually so much riskier than entrepreneur life of an entrepreneur. And even though um, startups fail oftentimes, on average, we have to say, the thing is, you can also have an agency. You can also have a freelancer position, and then you can reduce the risks so much, and you can have a regular revenue stream from 5 clients, from 10 clients, which is
Yeah,
so much easier because the chances are very small that all of them will end the contract immediately, like in the one time. And then you can, with all this revenue, you can stabilize your life, and then you can reinvest it in a startup that is maybe a bit more risky. And if you start several startups, after a while you get really good, and then the chances are much higher than just those like 20% or something of success rate. Could you imagine our listeners are have those two problems? Either they're not confident enough to start a business, and the other people, they are just, they think, okay, I cannot risk because I have my duties to pay with
hmm.
the family. What could you advise them in general?
So people that they have like a low confidence or they are not asking for help, it's a good idea to invest in personal development. If they don't have the money, they can read books, they can read articles on the internet, watch some videos. There is a lot of free content out there, so they can start, searching about mindset and way of thinking and all these kind of things.
Do you have some favorite books you could recommend them?
Not really, because I'm a very visual person and I enjoy doing things either in person or
Mhm.
watching online courses.
Yes.
I know some online courses, for example, like certifications. I strongly recommend NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, because we learn how the brain works, why we do, why we say what we say, and also about the others. And then we stop being disappointed for ourselves or the others. We try, we learn. So NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, is a great tool to use and start learning to overcome these challenges. And for the people that they have some responsibilities, like taking care of their partner, families, parents, or whoever, and they
Mhm.
are afraid of losing the stability if they will become entrepreneurs, they can do it, at the same time, like a side job. So
Yes.
they can start at the same time with a full-time job. Maybe then they can reduce the full-time to part-time. And when they make enough money, they can quit their job and focus completely on their own business. So there are ways, even for these people.
That's a really good advice. I guess maybe I can imagine that some people will say, but I don't have a really amazing business idea. Should I start a startup, or should I wait until the business idea will come to my mind? What would you say to this kind of people?
The most important thing is to love what you are doing.
Mhm.
You don't need to find like a super creative, innovative idea.
Yes.
If you love what you are doing, you can start and you can make it better. For example, I know a guy from the countryside of Greece, a small village of 300 people. He has a grocery store, with vegetables and fruits and nuts and these kind of things. He's like amazing. Like he did his business. I was like, you should be in Athens, in Thessaloniki, in everywhere to have like a franchise.
Yes.
He doesn't care. He's like, no, I just want to have this store because I love it and I want to make it better and better and better. For me, it's like a 5-star grocery store with veggies or something like that. So there are people that they do like, let's say, an ordinary business, a common business, but they do it in a very amazing way because they really love it.
Yes, yes. So it's just start somewhere. If it's even if people are saying, okay, it's not such an innovative business idea, but if you really like it, you will start as a normal business, but then you will improve the quality of your business so much, and you will stand out compared to the competition, and you will succeed as well, or at least you will have enough to sustain your business and your lifestyle. Yeah, that's really amazing advice. I think our audience will appreciate that, and it's not about giving them the solution, because every life is different, but just the direction. So if our audience wants to start into the right direction, they can like learn more about their mindset, about NLP especially, and just daring asking for cooperations, and not just thinking, okay, they will say no anyway, I don't need to try it. It's
Yeah.
all about try and try again, and once in a while, like if you try enough, you will have enough yes as well. And another really good advice from this episode was to value the education and network. So build your network, which can help you to start with the business, to start finding your clients and corporations, and also thinking outside of the box. You don't always need to pay for services. You can also exchange services. You can find partnerships. That's really amazing. Markos, could you tell the audience, so how can they find you, and what do you offer? What could you offer them?
Before that, I just want to say something more that we don't need to become perfect, okay? So they can start. The most important thing is to start, to take action, and then you can do the fine tuning step by
Yes.
step. Choose your niche, go deeper in your niche, and your specialty in the branding. But just start and start taking
Yes.
action. That's the most important thing. Okay.
Yes. 100%.
Then, yeah, so people can find me on social media as Markos Korvesis, as they see here, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. I mostly use LinkedIn, which is also very professional network. Okay, so definitely LinkedIn, and they can contact me. I have my email there. They can text me on the chat. I have my WhatsApp, my Telegram. So feel free to find me, and I can help them first of all choose their ideal remote profession. If they want to start an online business and they don't know what, I can help them choose to find what is the ideal profession for them, and then how to start their own online business and how to make it grow. Or even people that they already have an online business and they need some support to make it grow and have a team and passive income and digital projects, I can also help on that.
That sounds amazing. We will add all those profiles in the description, and I can urge you, dear audience, to take the action to call to get in contact with Markos, because, or I mean, in general, it's very valuable to have someone to speak with, to someone who has experience, who has seen different types of like paths and opportunities. And it's so valuable to have someone just to go back and forth, to put your thoughts out there. If they're inside you, you are just stuck. But if you exchange those thoughts, then suddenly it can get you much more clarity. Thank you very much, Markos.
Thank you so much. You're very right. Yeah, it's like we don't know what we don't know, right? So having a network of people, of course, is opening our mind and learn many new things.
Absolutely. That's a good final quote. Thanks for listening and see you next time. Bye bye.